두번 픽 시작하겠습니다. 자, 침착하게 좋아요. 신동 이제 블루 사이드에서 레드 사이드로 다시 옮겨갔죠. T1이 레드 블루를 죄송합니다. 고르면서 자, 이러면은 뭐가 남았냐? 마오카이가 남았죠. 마오카이 근데 안 하겠죠. 이제 T1이 한번 대인 적이 있으니까 바이를 가져오지 않을까? 아니면 아트록스? 블라인드 아트록스? 아니면 진짜 막 블라인드 뭐 바텀 픽 이런 게 나올 수도 있어. 블라인드 아트록스가 제일 유력해 보이고, 두 번째는 마오카이, 세 번째는 렐. 오우, 칼리스타 우리 또 보여주겠다. 칼리스타 우리 우리가 애쉬 케이틀린을 야, 세나 탐켄지 가져오는 거 바루스 좋죠. 뭐가 나올지 모르겠지만 서포 더러워. 굉장히 좋은 친구죠. 여기 케이틀린이 나와도 되고 애쉬가 나와도 되고 탐켄치가 나와도 되고 뭐 다 나올 수 있어. 바루스. 노력해 가네요. 리신? 비에고도 아니고 리신이다. 바이도 아니고. 와. 그렇죠. 렐이지. 그렇지.
I just really want to see hard engage drafted. If you're not going to play from your support, I want AOE hard engage from the teams to punish these double range bot lanes. I do think
서포터 완성시켜야겠죠. 굳이 블라인드로 뽑을 필요는 아트록스 가져오면 뭐 아찔은 하네 그냥. 이쪽에서는 정글로 뽑아가야죠. 바이 같은 것도 또 다시 바이? 아니면 오히려 마오카이도 괜찮아요. 근데 오히려 카나미가 마오카이 못하지. 아쉽네. 오공하는군요. 나쁘지 않네요. 아직 뭐 나온 게 없어가지고 뱀픽이 뭐가 좋다 나쁘다라고 얘기를 못하겠어요. 지금 이 상태로는 뭐 뱀픽이 뭘 의도하는지는 사실 잘 모르겠어. 너무 잡탕이라가지고. 어느 팀이 수비적으로 갈 건지 뭐 이런 것도 모르겠고요. 파이크. 근데 칼리 렐이 오히려 서포트일 수도 있으니까 뭐. That is going to be coming out. Something like the Renata even, especially when you're playing against Wukong and hard engage. I think Renata can be 미드를 배나는 게 좋지 않을까요? 이쪽은. 그렇지, 아칼리. 아칼리보다는 사일러스가 더 위력적이지 않나 싶은데. 이러면은 이제 돌격 조합에다가 아지르 궁극기까지 뺏어가지고 그 상대 돌격하는 걸 완전히 막아버릴 수 있습니다. 제이지가 진동이. 그 사일러스 이제 탑에서 아트록스 매나할까요? 바드 그래 바드는 잘라야 되죠. 바드는 잘해요. 사일러스 자르지 않을까 싶습니다. 조합상으로 너무 좋긴 해. 상성상으로는 좋진 않은데 라인전 상성상으로. 그리고 나이트가 사일러스 좀 잘하기도 하고. 리산드라 잘해요. 사일러스가 또 크산테 잘했으니까 사일러스 남았는데 주고 오픽 봐도 되지 않나? 아니면은 그냥 신드라 같은 것도 있긴 한데 신드라는 근데 너무 취약하니까는 사일러스가 이것보다 사일러스가 나을 것 같은데? 뭐 아무튼 그냥 하네요. 이러면 바텀에 이걸 어딘가로 힘을 실겠다는 건데 바텀이 될 확률이 뭐 좀 있죠? 아직까진 모르겠어. 세나 아트록스 이거는 뭐 예상된 뱀픽이니까. 이거는 뭐 아니고요. 뭐가 나올까요? 정글인지 그렇죠. 서포트. 칼라타 조합이 나왔네요. 근데 칼라타 조합도 뭐 좋진 않은데 저 갱킹에 이러면 바텀으로 향할 바텀에 힘을 싣는 친구가 나오겠죠.
we haven't mentioned yet, but obviously this is
레넥톤.
Zeus's massive like blind pick, right? He's like Aatrox. That's fine. I'll take it.
뭐 무난하죠. 레넥톤은 항상.
The red side advantage. Oh no!
I saw Dagdo wince as soon as the Renekton hover
It's not what you
came
want
in.
from your red side draft.
이래서 전반적인 뱀픽을 평가해 보자면 너무 되게 막 꼬은 거 같이 나온 거 치고는 별로 맛이 없다 영수다. 그냥 무난한 뱀픽을 골랐네요. 이제 미싱이 애쉬를 어떻게 쓰는지 내가 가르쳐줄게 라고 할 것 같은 느낌이 들기도 하고요. 그리고 그 징동의 이제 전통적인 옛날에 줌 있었을 때도 저 레넥톤이 아주 좋은 친구였는데 좋은 기억이 있는 친구죠. 그 친구가 이제 다시 나왔는데 뭐 또 좋은 기억을 줄지 싶습니다. 일단은 뭐 뱀픽에서는 사실 뭐 어느 팀이 이길 것 같다 이건 모르겠어요. 이거는.
Alright, let's see if blue side continues to reign supreme or if JDG break that trend back to the casters.
Thank you very much, Shox. Getting into game now. Looking at these drafts.
애쉬 궁극기를 싸가지고 레나타를 한 방에 터뜨린다? 그러면 이제 징동이 이길 것 같은데.
Maybe stronger overall as well. But see what JDG can do in this.
아닌 경우는 모르겠네.
Renata Kalista has been pretty dang good at this tournament, and having the ability to have such a wide-ranging counter initiation tool here, not only the Renata, but also the Azir. There's so much flexibility on the T1 side. Definitely does seem like they got a good setup. But the Taliyah here, we'll see how much work Knight can do. That rock field can be super annoying with so many champions having dashes here. See if JDG can try and snowball.
And what I want to highlight as well is that we have already seen the blueprint for what a win of both of these two teams like. I think T1 are always going to look for early leads, whereas JDG are looking for the mid-game fight.
And you can look to connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming to grab the
아까 좀
exclusive
1세트처럼 똑같은 그 그림이 나오는데?
You might have some time here because T1 seem uninterested in contesting this 5-man level 1. Instead, they will play some counter vision on the top side of the map.
I mean, I always love this, going for the level 1 invades, the priority here. First two games, T1 super lopsided for the level 1s. Really, really big openings for them, even though they ended up losing game number 2. But this one, JDG take matters into their own hands.
Oh, they do have vision.
Kill it, okay.
And of course, it's really tough to fight.
아까 정반대로. 야, 이번 징동 좋다. 느낌이 좋다, 징동. 보고 있어. 좋아요. 야, 칼바람이다. 야, 칼바람 왔다, 칼바람.
Do this really as T1 unless there's massive damage sustained from the red buff because Taliyah is so good level 1 also. I don't know. They're just kind of watching here.
T1 here to
좋습니다, 좋습니다.
JDG take a red buff.
아, 2레벨이야.
야,
너무 좋죠. 이거 뭐 있냐? 못타서 나머지 줘. 오케이. 레벨 1이야. 너무 좋죠.
But yeah, I mean, not only the Ashe Varus, but also the Taliyah over Azir in the level 1, big priority there, and it means that JDG accomplished their goal. They can split the map for this bottom lane that has been crucial.
And we are straight up back to spring. We're just healing level 1 to try and gain control of the wave. And it is Ruler and Missing that are able to get the early lead.
And it's very concerning if you're a T1 fan
좋습니다.
right now, there is no
무난하게 잘 하고 있네요.
in this bottom lane. Yes, you have the bailout, but when level 6 rolls around with the Ashe, with the Varus, the setup is so easy on the bottom side. Gumayushi has to be very careful.
Level 2 Wukong tower dive. I don't know about the sound of that, but they've got a big wave.
1레벨이라서
still level 1.
될것
Can
같아.
Guman carry it? Try and snipe.
된다. 따따따따따따따따따따따따따따따따. 그렇죠. 뭐야, 바보야?
At the same time, though, Guma, the one that you want the kills, you want the minions on, it's sitting on 1 CS.
JDG trip over their own feet here, though, in the bottom
뭐야?
lane. They try and
뭐야, 버그야?
dive it. The level 2 advantages, but Carrier comes up huge on the Renata.
Damn, that is the corporate takeover right there, man. This man not allowing anybody to get through. Out of all the 4 champions in the bottom lane, if you told me Renata got the double kill, it's the least likely one for me to believe you. But that said,
and he's gonna get he got all the minions at the tower afterwards too. So there's gonna be a bunch of extra experience. We're actually gonna see a support higher level than AD carry this game because of the kills, because of the big minion wave that was stacked up there.
그럼 괜찮아요.
That's another thing when you're
CS를
going
이렇게
to
5개인 대로 이제
a big
남길
part
수
of
있으면.
why you do it is trying to deny those large minion waves, and Kanabi's back
너무
again.
좋다, 너무
All right.
좋다, 너무
This
좋다.
wave
한 번 더
state
오는 거
is
너무
so
좋아.
good
AS 해줘야지.
for T1. They need to try and fix it, but they don't know where Kanabi is. And I love this because there's nothing for him to gain on top of the map. You know Owner is going to invade that side, but unless Owner makes his way
Carry no
down,
flash.
they gotta. Carrying no flash, and this Giant's belt is good, but he's slowly getting chipped away. Kanabi in the area, just shadowing in case the gank does come through. Happy with this lane state for JDG.
And I think the thing here is, I don't know, they don't know where Owner is. And if you do get caught up in a 3v3, can go either way. And bailouts in those situations can be really big.
Now though, after they've been able to push it out, they should be fine here.
CS를 리드를 많이 하고 있어가지고 좋긴 한데.
The red side jungle camps have respawned. And here's another look at how they started it out onto Guma Yushi, and they do get him, but Keria had immediately gone.
아니 이거 왜 이렇게 늦게 쓴 거야?
After the second, or the extra tower auto was already in the air, so he dies even after flashing, and Keria is able to take down the kill on Varus as well, regardless of cleanse.
Yep.
빨리 좀
The
쓰지.
handshake was a bit too firm there for JDG. we're not a fan of that one.
He's got a firm grip.
Man's got some strong forearms. Put him in there.
Man, look at the CS though. 43 for Ruler to the 16 now of Guma, trying to scrape together those minion waves. Keria, of course, got a bunch of the experience from all those minions that was there, but denying them to the Callista, to that
그냥 조용한 상황이네요. 좋죠.
definitely huge.
이렇게 되면은 전령을 용은 일단 우선권이 그래도 T1한테 있을 건데 전령 우선권은 이제 진공한테 있어가지고.
And him getting an early lead is going to be really big. So even though Keria was able to pick up the kills, I think you're still very happy with that play as JDG. Just means that Keria should be getting to what I assume will be a Radiant Virtue very early on. We'll see if he's able to utilize that in some of these mid-game fights that surely are going to erupt around the possible dragons. Although this first
용은
one
이제 T1이
is
가져가는 게
as
맞긴 하고.
it is, wouldn't be surprised if Owner is able to pick this on. They have mid lane prio, bot lane prio as well.
Kanabi on the top side as well, so not much of an angle to contest on this one. JDG will know what's happening, but they're not going to burn any resources. Instead, content to give up the Chemtech. See what the soul is going to be this time around. We're going to need to wait for one more.
전령은 이제 징동이
And right now, in
가져와야죠.
terms of gold, JDG are sitting pretty. T1 obviously the big boon they got on the bottom side. Lackluster in the grand scheme of things, even if it did look good to see Keria get
오
the
머리
double.
좋아.
Gotta
역시
say though,
카나비야.
last time Kanabi getting some early kills worked out pretty well for JDG, and he is on his signature Wukong. Him and Levi are the two junglers worldwide that did not give up on this champion, even after the jungle nerfs to Wukong came in. And at World so far, 7-1 the record for Wukong.
Yeah. And I mean, especially if you're going to get to that Divine Sunderer spike sooner, we talked about what Vi can do with it. Wukong can do like 10 times more, and that is very concerning for the side of T1. They need to be clean in their execution and careful around the potential level 6 plays from this JDG lineup. The Wukong, the Talia, their ability to move around and set up these walls could be incredibly disruptive for anything T1 tries.
와, 저 마관신 나왔네. 이거 페이커가 더 센데 지금? 탈리아보다?
Renekton and Talia is such a lethal combination when you get to the mid-game fights, and we do see that 369 in isolation has been doing a really good job of using the early power of the Renekton to keep Zeus on the back foot. And T1 haven't really shown yet that they're able to win a game where they don't get the early lead after the team fighting from JDG in game number 1. And right now, it doesn't look like T1 have found any early angles in this game outside of the Dragon specifically.
Have to see what it looks like as we get closer and closer to fights. Herald spawning in 5 seconds here. For now, topside pressure in favor of JDG. See if they try to level it as Kanabi is currently clearing out the wolves. 369 going all in with the dominance here. It looks like just trying to get some pressure. Threat of the all in not quite there yet. Forcing out the world and the flash coming out from
앞으로 플래시 탔으면 잡지 않았냐?
Follow up there on the Darkened Blade.
Yeah, really good movement there.
아니 뭐야? 앞으로 플래시 탔으면 잡았을 텐데 왜?
Speed in the extra space there. Goes back in. Forces the flash solo.
아니 앞으로 탔으면은 저거 앞큐 갈긴 다음에 이제 들어가서 잡을 수 있을 텐데. 그걸 왜 굳이 뒤로 탔지? 타워 맞아서 그런가?
as we call up Keria, the real
평큐 평으로
powerhouse of the
잡을만
bottom
했는데.
lane.
A level 6 Keria, courtesy of the early play, has the XP advantage, missing trailing behind, but isn't going to do a lot. Looking for the 1v1. Kumuji, nice flash to get away from the piercing arrow and the 3 stacks. In the meantime, fight on the top side.
뚜뚜뚜루뚜루 그렇지 그렇지 한 번만 더 쏴라. 그렇다.
To keep the fight going, but Zeus is not down yet. Zeus looking to fire back. JDG could be in trouble, missing, not firing forward. He's got level 6, but does he have the mana? The Herald does drop in the end. Knight still standing. The flick back is clean. Living missing. He gets the kill. He gets the red buff carrier now running for his life. Flash out from Knight to safety. Still standing, ticking down, backing. Hostile takeover will not connect. Handshake will not connect. It's an absolute mess of a fight on the top side.
But in the
정말
end,
치열한 싸움이었다, 그죠?
T1 that pick up the Herald. They'll get that, but outside of that, as you're saying, so many summoners being blown. Kanavi, 369.
이게 한 번 더 버텼으면 살만했는데. 플래식을 아까 앞으로 써서 잡았으면은 어땠을까 싶기도 하고, 그죠?
Oh my god, it was so messy. And Keria was holding his spells for so long just for the ultimate.
야, 서포터가 300골드 제압골 갖고 있는 거 쉽지 않은데, 그죠?
He did pick up the kill for T1 and he picked up
미쳤다.
the eyeball herald though, and he's got a bounty on his head now, 300 gold on the back of that support player.
This is lore accurate Granada that we're seeing here from Keria, bringing in all the gold for himself. But if we look at this fight, it starts off with
여기서 안 녹은 페이커가 왜 저게 안 녹냐 어떻게? 와.
Talia and Renekton combo.
이거 한 번만 더 들렸으면 어떡해.
369 from T1
야.
side, they do get him. As they're trying to chase him off here, Keria still holding his ultimate. They feel like they've got Kanavi dead to rights. They pop the Herald here. Owner's able to grab that one before he goes down. And then Keria can actually go pick up the eyeball even with the red buff missing in his face. Ooh, Knight actually barely surviving and his flash gone as well.
And it's actually the smite on the Herald that gives Owner the level up, which allows him to then Magnet Storm and stay alive for a little bit longer. Otherwise, that could have gone way worse. But it is still JDG that pick up
탑
the lead
다이브?
right now. Zeus doesn't
할 수
have
있어요.
much
근데
available.
궁극기
Kanavi
그 세 개
looking
파괴자
for a
있어가지고.
dive here. No reinforcement for T1.
빠빠빠라바라밥. 빠빠빠라바라밥.
Waiting, buying his time.
아이고, 갔다. 탑이 그렇게 중요한 자리는 아닌데 그래도 뭐 폭을 먹을 수 있어서 좋습니다. 다행이다.
As Dragon is spawning, JDG are getting turret plates on
막을 수
top
있죠.
side.
There's also Knight who already rotated over, knowing that a dive could be in the works. But with Talia shadowing towards that side, can't actually do it. So T1 will get Drake, but they're paying so heavily for it.
And JDG do have a arrow angle plus a Varus ultimate, but looks like they don't want to do it without Kanavi having
포커라는 더 먹어야지.
So they'll give up the objective in exchange for the huge
땡그랑
bounty of gold on top side. So many turret plates taken off of that dive.
The thing we have to keep our eye on now is where is this Herald going to go in the back pocket of Keria? Not ideal.
선열 표식자와 코어가 두 개 쫙쫙 떠버렸죠. 오른쪽 진동 게이밍 좋습니다.
Just attention to the top side of the map as it starts to wander up there now. Owner
빠빠빠라바라밥. 빠빠빠라바라밥. 먼저 코어를 띄워가지고 이제 좀 유리하게 가져갈 수 있는 자리가 나오게 생겼습니다. 야호.
It's also again Kanavi having such a big impact and utilizing
와
these
이거
early kills
이거는
extremely
뭐
well.
벌써 간 거
This is
같은데?
a level 10 Renekton, doesn't have dominance but does have Gore Drinker available, and Kanavi's on his way.
I really feel like Wukong has been the most underrated pick at World so far. T1 are going to go for the dive.
와, 잘 막았다. 이건 막았다.
TP now coming in.
근데
369
병치가
staying
있었어,
alive for now. No dominance. Gore Drinker healing now coming in, but
잘
Zeus
막았어.
goes in just
잘
in time.
막았습니다.
Takeover will not connect on the real Kanavi. They're still focusing on Zeus. The bailout will not be enough. And they'll take a kill.
주세요.
Kanavi not quite. Shattering strike. Bit more
잘
damage
막았어.
going through, but at the end of the day, it's fizzled. They get the kill on the top side, 1-for-1.
자, 바텀 씨 어떻게 마담 어떻게 할 건데? 마담 어떻게 할 건데?
And they do spot Kanavi there. Faker should be able to at the very least benefit from some of the gold that is going to come through here. But it's still JDG who are able to get this bot side lead and make it even bigger.
어떻게 할 건데? 딱 물어볼게. 어떻게 할 건데?
Advantage for Ruler.
룰러가 키를 계속 냠이냠이. 그럼 너무 맛있어요. 개맛있어. 쑥. 착.
Remember that coming into today,
3인 투자했는데 1대1 교환 개꿀 렌지 빠빠빠라바라밤 빠빠빠라바라밤 빠라빠라빠라빠빠빠빠빠라바라밤
And it is actually
빠빠빠라바라밤 빵.
Zeus otherwise can just get out there, might be able to survive, and then T1 can take a big win, then use their threat and try and play for a Herald play afterwards, but instead they're not able to take down Kanavi.
잘했다.
They don't get the bailout resets, and it's JDG that gets out ahead.
빠빠빠라바라밤 빠빠빠라바라밤.
Going in the arrow just around the corner. The bar assault's going to be there as well. Keep your eyes on Ruler. Where is he going to throw it? Owner trying to bake the play out. Guma keeping his support alive. Does not want to give over the 3-0 shutdown.
이 정도면 뭐 오케이.
JDG keeping the pressure up, keeping their eyes on the tower. We'll focus down that
호불 딱
The
따냈고요.
damage is enough for them to take down the tower. Kanavi invested his ult, he invested his flash to escape, not give over the extra kill. Their counter jungling is also successful. They are on a roll here. JDG taking over.
빠빠빠라바라밤
After how game number 2 went,
빠빠빠라바라밤.
it's hard to
진동이
imagine
초반을 앞서고 있다?
T1 can stand up to
그러면
this
뭐
team
거의 뭐
fighting
끝이라고
power.
봐야지.
The early game has been exceptional, but particularly with the composition where you have the Kalista, that is, as we see here in the lane economy snapshot, 900
진동은 여태까지 다전제에서 한타로 한 번도 뒤집히지 않은 유일한 팀입니다.
The only gold is on Carrier, which you know he's going to feel great about, but T1 as a whole not
이기는
so
상황에서
much.
한타로 한 번도
We
역전패를
start to feel
당하지
again this
않았어.
game kind of slipping away as we get to the fight at Herald.
And crucial that T1 have been able to grab the first 2 Drakes. They have not gotten nothing in the early game. Getting a third, moving up to Soul Point on a Cloud Soul, feel pretty good. But I don't think JDG
이번
are gonna
대회
give them an
말하는
angle. They're
거죠.
so far ahead now, they don't have to concede much. Of course, not in a great position. Yeah, I was gonna say not in a great position to contest this Herald, and that's why I didn't say concede nothing. I said concede much because they will have to give that one up. See if the same is true of the Drake, Mr. Laffy.
Yeah, who's laughing when JDG come to town? Honestly, I want to see about the monkey on the top side here.
빠빠빠라바라밤.
He's going for a lane gank. Was he just covering a possible play here because they did get Rift Herald alert, so they know.
자, 용이 나옵니다. 용.
kinda
맛있는
just allowing for the possible play here to count.
람용. 람용 개만 없는데.
Ruler snipes that. I think snipes. Yeah, snipes the
장난하나
away
이씨. 람용.
from owner, not able to pick that one up. That actually is
이거
gonna be
먹는
really
대신에
big.
이제 그냥
Both
1-3-1을
sides
돌겠다.
T1 have a basically must-win fight where they set themselves up for Soul.
서로 먹기
Allows
싫은
you
용.
to play towards the top half of the map with much more freedom.
개맛 없음.
Allows you to give up maybe a dragon so that Zeus
그걸
can
활용해가지고
and
역으로
get
킬각을
back
보는 게
in
훨씬 더 나아.
position where he can
한타를
actually
유도해서.
threaten the backline of JDG. We'll see if T1 is able to get the fighter, because if you look at the cooldowns that are available on JDG, it becomes really, really hard to consistently
한타를
lock
가네요.
someone down, even with the power that Rel has.
I want to see, since T1 have been able to get early access into the river here, Renata can shine. If you can ultimate, you can cover either one of these entrances into the river, and JDG right now are funneling on through. They're going to be forced into one of these kind of confined areas.
자, 애쉬 궁극기
Ruler zoned away
렛츠고.
from this choke point here, has a bit of vision just to spot out the T1 lineup. T1 now trying to take control of the mid lane. JDG have pushed in through the bottom lane. Zeus clearing that
바로
wave out,
궁극기
but
그냥 다
the poke
개난리.
from Ruler are going to start to hurt.
개 쓰레기
Take
같았음.
too long. Need to pick their moment aggressively. JDG now again moving in, fighting slowly, diligently. Eyes on carry, eyes on the hostile takeover to maybe be the difference maker in this fight. Zeus on the flank, Faker over the wall. Objective getting lower and lower. The Weaver's wall coming out, isolating owner. Might go for the 50-50, but it's absolutely psycho. Flashes over the arrow.
와.
Goes in. It's incredibly clean. JDG with the counter punch. Can they get anything back? Ruler untouched on the backside. Dragon still standing. But owner
대망했다,
takes
그냥.
that away too. My God, what an engage from T1.
Owner, you magnificent beast! What in the world? He makes the engage happen and he secures the dragon. T1.
아, 어쩐지 원딜이랑 아니 바루스 궁극기를 그냥 하늘에 날려버리더라고. 아.
Wonder because he has so much pride in being on T1. Owner,
봐봐.
Zeus,
바루스
and
궁극기가 그냥
Guizi,
없어요, 지금.
they came
왼쪽
up
오른쪽
all
하단에
of
보면
them through
없거든요.
the T1 system. Rookies and academy all the way to the main roster, and look at this, all the way to the world stage over the Ash Arrow. Him and Faker get the double initiation and wipe those JDG members off the map.
And we see the value of the Renata come through yet again. There is no counterpunch for JDG. not able to actually re-engage there. Can't assist Kanavi as he tries to get on the back line.
아니 아직 몰라.
Now, gold almost equalized here.
You can see Busan come alive. No surprise to say that T1 are the local favorites here. The gold within touching distance. Now T1 have set themselves up on Soul Point, a crucial fight. Just getting the dragon would have been good enough, but they take the whole thing. They even up the gold, and suddenly got quite the game on our hands.
This series is so fun. These team fights are so good from both sides. Last game, JDG pulling out some miraculous moves, some clean movement from Ruler. This one though, man, that engage over the top. Faker and Owner from different angles.
And I think big for Owner. After kind of a lackluster game two, in a game where Kanavi is pulling further and further ahead. Individually though, he's still weak. 369.
아니 맵팩인가봐 진짜.
They'll be forced to walk out of this one. Good patience from Owner.
The juke, the sense they know the danger is there. He jukes him back.
Can SCP
lock up there. Carry taking a big chunk of damage.
아,
taken away this time by Owner.
안타깝네요.
Go for this one.
야, 씨 레드도 뺏기고 이거.
T1 regained.
아 원래 우리 레드인데, 우리 신발 나누는 레드인데.
On the top side of the map. JDG holding on to a gold lead, but T1 feeling a lot more confident coming into the next dragon fight. 2.5 minutes away. Baron spawning in 4 seconds. Both sides take it pretty quick. Although the lethality Varus actually puts a pretty big damper on any hopes JDG has for bursting it down.
And Zeus
going in on a Ruler. Ruler caught shopping. Oh no! And he gets the dust blade. It's too damn clean. Kanavi trying to get something back, but it might be too little, too late. The flick back coming in. T1 see their window of opportunity. Berserk, both 80s just hitting each other. Knight now running. T1 taking the exchange. They can turn right towards Baron.
Kanavi has no health. That's the Ruler spot. That man has been caught there
야,
so
룰러가
many
저런.
times. And now T1 trying to
졌다,
start up the
이거는.
Baron. We'll see if they can take it. Kanavi, he's healing up,
No
trying his
flash.
best.
You're trying to clone over the wall. The Weaver's wall through the midst of everything.
Yeah, vision.
T1 focused on the objective. They have the Ren Smite combo. There is no reason they should give this up, but Kanavi might just be able to take it. They're now trying to burst it down the push over the wall, but it does not matter. T1 get the objective.
1+1이다.
Kanavi into the pennant. He will get taken down. 369 forced to run for the hills, and T1 have turned the game on its head.
1+2다. 와.
Running for his life, but Zeus is here. Look for the slice. Trying to double dash through one. Not able to get the second. The Q3, the Darkened Blade cutting down. But now Ruler, maybe he can get more in the fight.
어?
Ruler not running down Zeus.
이거 몰라?
Owner now running. Ruler trying to make up for the previous mistake. JDG looking to take the fight. Owner overstaying, over commitment.
어?
Hit by the arrow. The fight doesn't stop. T1 hold on to the Baron.
아, 근데 이미 크게 손을 해봐가지고 뭐 이게 좋은.
And it is 369. The Crocodile stays alive throughout so much there. It's a negative Red Bull Baron power play. And more importantly, it might inhibit T1 to actually set up for the soul, whereas normally that should happen 100% of the time. Look at Knight, the amount of damage he does, the double knockback, and then T1, they win the subsequent fight, but they go too far.
Yeah, look at Guma and Karya's health so low here, trailing on the backside, while the rest of the T1 members trying to play off pressure, trying to chase down the Crocodile. Knight and Missing come in, Karya gets deleted from the outside, and then Ruler here, peeling for 369, keeping him safe. 369, baiting him in, Q healing on the outside, then the stun onto Faker almost was enough to chain into the seismic shove, but not quite enough. They just get his flash.
And there was a big miscommunication because Faker was backing while the rest of the team was like, oh, it's fine. We got 369, and they most certainly did not. But T1 still have the Baron buff available and should be able to set up for the soul point.
Flash available on Knight. Potential for playmaking is big. Kanavi caught out. Zeus trying to run him down. T1 taking control of the area. Eyes on the soul. Their #1 prize, but both carries are flashless on the side of T1. They have to play flawlessly. If they miss position even once, it could cost them. Missing's ult up and available. The Ashe can find an angle, it can all fall apart. Zeus got out a bit here, forced to retreat. Dragon, objective, getting lower. Weaver's wall, bringing Knight into the fight. The entire team split. Arrow going wide. That's massive. 369 going to the pit, trying to isolate. Take out the jungle.
369 슈퍼 캐리.
It's the hostile takeover connecting. Who can get
오케이,
the objective?
오케이, 369. 아, 근데
Coming
요곡이
through
죽었어.
in time for Kanavi, but the fight is
그래도
not
이 정도면은
done.
뭐
Missing
썩
with the
나쁘지 않은.
backside. Vulnerable on his lone
지금
side.
구도는 나쁘지 않아요.
Slowly, surely, they have no jungler, but they have the objective. T1 desperate to get more. They know they need to get something here. Pushing in. 369 over the wall. Knight continuing to poke. It's diligent. It is controlled. 369 now going in, forcing out the
아이고, 아이고.
has been caught out. Missing
아이고.
will go down. The flash buying a bit more time, buying a bit
안
more
된다.
space, but he will get killed. It is only a matter of time. Zeus finishing up the fight. At the end of the day, JDG gets the Drake.
아니, 그냥,
Even
아,
if T1 gets the
미친.
consolation prize.
아, 근데 저거 할 수밖에 없는 플레이였긴 해요. 아, 근데 너무 가까이 붙었다. 아, 참.
Get themselves towards more dragons, but additionally, and the most important part, the Baron buff is now gone. T1 actually weren't able, because of the topside play, and then this fight, to utilize their buff to get more objectives.
All right, keep your eyes on Kanavi. He sacrifices his life to go in here and steal the dragon and deny the soul. They're trying to focus on Owner. 369 goes for him. They stun him, they seismic shove him, they keep him out. He smites early. Down to the 300-something HP there, and then Kanavi's able to get it, but Kanavi just pops in the middle of T1. The sacrifice. And then they kind of get kited here and chased down, and you know, in the end, T1, they all turn their sights towards missing on the back. Kind of respect it from JDG though. They're trying to kite them out and poke them down, even with 4 members here, but the Callista ultimate means they're going to get the full engage onto that Ashe. Missing has no mobility.
And what is really big is that Missing actually ends up flashing there, because at that point, I think JDG had already won the play. Missing trying to get more ends up backfiring, because Ashe in particular, when Faker has his flash available, is a sitting duck for an Azir shuffle.
Absolutely is. Missing maybe now caught out again, just as you call it, Chronicler. But Kanavi in the meantime just trying to isolate Zeus. He needs to be careful though, because the rest of T1 is now coming in. Missing running for the hills, but he surely will go down. Faker grabbing the kill. 369 being forced out of the pit. Locked up.
인원이 부족한 거야?
Taking him out to safety. T1 finding the kill onto Missing, but not a lot else. Priority in their favor. They're going to get mid first. They're going to get push. 1 minute and 30
아니 뭐
to the
계속
Baron.
저 싸우면 와 큰일 났다 이거.
And the main goal here is going to be to try and get control of the Baron, force JDG to face check, and JDG not having control, a lot of their poke from the Talia, from the Lethality Varus, isn't going to be nearly as easy to hit, and it takes away a large part of power for this JDG composition.
And we know how many times these games come down to item spikes and they come down to summoner spells. Kanavi not having his flash in that next fight could be massive. Missing his heal, probably not as big of a deal, but that Wukong not being able to immediately find backline access could cost them dearly, especially as each and every member of T1 has their flash up and available.
So much tension here in this game to see if they can break it open. JDG dispersed into the 1-3-1 here. Ruler in your ruler position, trying to hold that wave. Should be calm as T1 get a little bit deeper vision.
And it feels like such an important breakpoint, because this is the first game that hasn't been very much in favor of one of the teams. Winning this gets you 1 game away from making it to the World's Finals. This is the most close game we've had so far. T1
아 진짜 뭔가 좀
advantage, but JDG
이길 것 같은 기분이 안 드냐 왜?
And if you look at some of the star players here, Ruler got a lot of the early money. This Varus is on 3 items with
이거 지는 팀이 이게 진짜 끝이다 이제. 이게 사실상 최종전이다. 다음 판은 쓸려 나갈 거야. 아, 씨 왜 패배의 상징 애쉬를 골라가지고 아직 지지 않았지만 힘내자 뭐. 뭐야?
They're even going to use Knight's ultimate to try and get some extra damage on tower here. It looks like they don't want to step up to it.
Have to be careful. Maybe not expecting 4 members of T1 to be there. Zeus walking up to the mid lane as well. The poke from Ruler can be devastating. T1 can't spend too long trading blows in the mid lane against this Varus, or too long setting up and taking objectives. Topside control, topside vision control in favor of T1. A bit of vision in the pit means JDG don't have to be too scared, but they might be fishing for the angle. Arrow going onto the jungle. Flick back is there.
잠깐만 그렇지. 그렇죠. 나쁘지 않았어.
You will keep carry alive. Fate's call. But it's the fate of T1 to lose this Baron. Zeus playing on the edge here. Step forward. Dark and Blade Q2 coming out.
자 바루스 포킹.
JDG looking to take control of the area, but they don't quite have all the vision that they need to walk in.
오오오.
They can take him down.
Zeus spotted 369 early ultimate to get the Fury up. Knight going over the wall. The flick back.
오 됐다. 잡았다.
The rest of T1 now trying to move into the jungle to compensate, but Missing zoning them off as best he can. Zeus the
잡았다. 그렇지.
back into the midst of the team, and he
와,
will get taken down.
너무 좋아요.
Ruler now on a rampage.
그렇지. 이제 바로 온.
They're looking for Dragon though. Are they going to try and trade Baron for Dragon Soul? They've got Callista. They're going to try and rend it. Gumayushi is going to try and rend this dragon. They're going to try and get Cloud Soul in exchange for the Baron buff.
라 근데 람용 용은 좋진 않는데 주는 거. 근데 그래도 바론이 최선의 선택이잖아. 이속이 빨라져가지고 이게 좋진 않은데 근데 그래도 나쁘진 않아요. 포킹 피하기가 쉬워지니까 상대가 그러니까 T1이 저 클라우드 소울은 뭐 그렇게 썩 좋진 않은데 그래도 바론을 잘 먹었습니다. 두두두두두두 두두두두두 승전보를 올려라 제발.
Let's see what they can get done with it because they did pay a decent price here in the form of a permanent dragon soul to the side of T1.
Have to be careful, have to respect that soul. But for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, it is JDG who are favored. Not quite enough members in the mid lane to bully this tower down, but the empowered cannon minions will be more than enough. And again, Kuma forced to flash.
와 미신 잘했다 이거 봐. 잘했다. 아이고 까비. 까비. W 한번 뿌려주시고. 좋아요. 오너 조금씩 가랑비 이제 못 잡는 거죠. 그렇지. 아니 왜? 와.
T1 gonna go up to match point, and it's Faker that sets it up, Owner that knocks it down.
Just when you think the JDG are in total control, it wasn't even about the Cloud Soul, it was a single moment from T1 that gave them this game, that set them up for a match point. Missing, he won't be enough. T1 gonna break the base.
와 진짜 어떻게 저렇게 한 방에 이렇게 뒤집힐 수가 있냐. 와. 진짜 잘하긴 하네요. 와, 다시 한번 봅시다. 와, 진짜 너무 훌륭했다 근데. 와. 와. 야, 이거 진짜 페이커 혼자 만든 거다 그냥. 와. 너무 잘한다. 아니 나이트야 탈리아를 잡았으면 뭐 좀 해봐. 와. 와 진짜. 와. 진짜 말도 안 된다 게임. 이걸 지냐? 다 잡은 게임이었는데 와.